The stars are aligning, but not an Astra in sight. Simo and Bala to bring you the last and final map here of 100 Thieves versus Envy. And it's been quite the interesting one so far, hasn't it, Bala?
Yeah, it has. Definitely a banger on Ascent. You know, the Bind wasn't necessarily as closely contested, but still very exciting. This one, this Haven match, it's all coming down to this. We go to the final map of the series. And if it was anything like this second map here, we're in for a good one. There was clutches, there was multi-kills multiple times in a row for players like Victor, for Asuna, and others. Everybody delivered on this map.
Yeah, it was a beautiful sight to see finally the Envy composition coming to the fold, but it wasn't an easy battle despite how proficient Victor has become with the Sky and has created a lot of the space that they can, you know, partner up with a flash from Mame or some paint shells and a Roomba from Caboose. It showed to be enough, but just almost enough. It went to OT just over the edge. Will that Sky come back into play here once we move on to Haven? That is a big question. Another big question is, does the Astra come through? If there's a map that I think Astra can do quite well on, it's going to be Haven. A lot of great gravity wells on the longer angles that you can set up. But we haven't seen that in the series so far, and I'm just going to probably guess that it's a no.
I don't think
that
so.
last map was definitely one that we can now feel out for this third one.
Yeah. This last one, it upgraded our opinions of that comp for sure. Right? I mean, I already had high opinions, but Envy for the first time showing it, I was like, maybe this one is going to take a little bit more work. No, that Ascent was a lot of fun to watch, and they had the tools in the bag. Got to point out, Asuna 32 kills on the map. Caboose not too far behind him, but everybody contributed. I mean, it was a closely fought game. Have to give props to Victor on his Sky while he's playing a different agent. He's still contributing in massive fashion.
Yeah, you know, I'd almost would like to dub this the Battle Sky. You know, there's the Battle Sage. Well, now it feels like Victor and maybe even Strong Legs too. Shout out to Strong Legs, bringing out the Battle Sky into full swing. Because normally Victor's playing the duelist. The fact that we've seen this, you know, consistent performance really build up over the series, it's scary. If you're able to play Sky in kind of a duelist fashion and then still make it work, it's impressive to see. But bigger question is, since Envy have been playing this agent roulette, you know, with this final bullet in the chamber, what do they end up shooting with for this last and final map?
Oh, last map is Haven. NA, I don't know if they're on board with EU's vibe of picking Sky on Haven. We'll have to see. It's always possible. Envy's definitely trying things out today, and I hope that they continue to try things out. I love the flexibility that having an agent like Sky being used by a player like Food gives the team overall. Very, very exciting for the future of them. And you were talking at the beginning of the broadcast, like what this means. I mean, you want to be able to show a variety of different comps against teams who are playing a variety of different comps on all the different regions. And now it's time to build that up as we head into the time where we are close to Iceland. So very exciting to see from Envy, and I hope it continues, but we don't know. They could revert back to default here.
We did see the map selection on your screens once more. We started with Bind, moved on to Ascent, and now into Haven. Haven, out of the 3 maps that we've had in the pool, is kind of the lowest played map for both teams out of the pool, not out of the whole 5.
Yep.
And 100 Thieves have played it a lot less than Envy. So there's a lot of kind of question marks that we still don't know about what they're going to be bringing. Yep. There's not much tape for Envy to review, whereas there's a little bit more that 100 Thieves have on Envy that they can kind of prepare. But the problem is that is a comp that includes Astra, and Envy haven't been playing it. So it's a complete kind of blind side to any strategies that 100 Thieves may have been preparing. Yeah. That wasn't a problem on Bind. We'll see if that's a problem on Haven.
Well, you're right. The playbook does change a lot for 100 Thieves here, because the last real event that we were playing and we were watching was Masters, and they were playing Nitron Breach, if you remember. This time around, we believe that it's going to be Ethan on Sage, as we've seen on all the other maps, and they did play that in open qualifiers only one time, and Ethan was bringing a depth of new things with Sage. But if that's not necessarily practice, if they were just showing it off and trying it out for open qualifiers, maybe they'll play something else. I expect it to be that, but while Sage has been getting picked a lot recently on Haven, especially in other regions, we haven't quite seen it in these caliber of tournaments, so we'll have to see.
Well, finally, look to the gods, look to the stars. We finally have our answers. Agent selection underway. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. Agent selection has been the most exciting part of this series so far. Envy consistently throwing us some curveballs. You'll love to see.
There it is again. No shot, Victor on Breach. Are you kidding me, man? He just loves the flashes. And Mame back to Jet. So completely different from what we've seen from them on Haven recently. Mame has been playing the Omen in this series, but no, it's FNS on Omen. Wait, okay, I'm confused here. What's going on?
Yeah, this is a little bit spicy, and this is what we said. This is why Agent Select has been the most exciting. I think this may be the most exciting Agent Select this year. The amount of little spicy things, the little twists, the little changes. This is interesting.
Yeah. In NA, I'm not gonna lie, Agent Select has been the most boring thing ever. Always. It's like never any surprises. Teams run the exact same thing over and over and over. The most hype I get is when Hiko hovers Viper. And even I know that it's unreasonable to get excited for that. So thank you, Envy, for making this upper bracket final at least fun in Agent Select, and also both of the teams making it fun in game. So what does this mean? We're throwing a double duelist, double initiator, no sentinel, like not even close to a sentinel. Not a single one of these characters could even be close to considered any sort of sentinel. Maybe with the paint shelves from Raze, but I don't know. This is gonna be very interesting. This is a phase-esque.
Yeah, it feels like Envy are playing Raze like a sentinel, like a pseudo sentinel. That's like, you're gonna get intel, you're gonna do some damage, and we can make it work. The big question for me is if Nitro after this game tweets Omen diff. That is the biggest question that I'm hoping to get the answer to, because finesse on Omen is something we've very rarely, if ever, have seen, and here we get to see it live. VCT to close qualifier.
Ooh, the dash already, but they're fighting back in grass, and this wall is hard to get through, except for Mame. And they're going up long C anyways. I thought there was going to be trouble here, and there is. On the C side, Ethan's gone, but they've got a lot of space. 100 Thieves does purchase down on long C, but Victor's already there and watching.
There's the Roomba, spots one player out at least. Wall is going to make things a little bit more challenging for the defense, and they were the ones that put it there. They can't quite go through their own wall connector. Victor waiting for steal on the opposite side. There's the swing shots, good, as they will work together to seal the fate. Now Mame has a little bit more of a challenging feat as Asuna finds two. He's going to use the hot hands to hopefully diffuse through. Finds one. Now the smoke is going to allow him to battle up against Finesse, but it's too much, too overwhelming. 100 Thieves win the pistol. There is a lot to break down on that round.
He was feeling himself there. Asuna continues in good form. 30 bomb last map. Starts off with 4. Absolutely ridiculous stuff from Asuna there, and I like the idea from both sides. I mean, we were wondering how is this going to work, right? This is going to be phase-esque from Envy. The way that they're playing double duelist breach. Flash through garage. Mame's dashing over. He's updrafting off a wall, and they catch Nitro, or Ethan actually, in the back of sight there. It's going to be 5 players over towards A this time. A lobby for Envy.
Here.
100 Thieves has 3 of their own down long A, though, and I'm wondering if there's going to be an interesting wall here from Ethan.
Well, at least we can slow things down for a little bit. That pistol was chaotic, but if the series is going to tell us anything, that chaos is going to continue to ensue. Potential pause here. Tactical, technical. See, we'll find out.
Unpaused. We're here. Okay, so 3 people are going to fight against 5 in a lobby. Let's see how this works.
At least it's not the force up for Envy. Just going to try to overwhelm with their pistols. C1, there's the dash forward from Mame. It's a little bit of a Baby Bay-esque timing. He pushes forward. 100 Thieves are not going to be prepared for this. There's the paint shows, but Caboose is low. He's definitely going to be tagged up here. Hiko can't quite finish the job, but still it's Alston that's able to dispatch them. He's been playing close off the wall, has to drop down. A couple of upgrades now on the floor means that Envy can fight this 2v3, but it's going to be a little bit challenging because Steel's got his patented Bucky, and Nitro's got the Eddie ADS from range. A solid round for 100 Thieves.
You ever see a Spectre 1-tap from that range? There was the interesting wall from Ethan. We didn't get quite to see it, but he got forced off very, very fast and falls. I was scared for a second there because Asuna had the Phantom and he fell. Thankfully, Steel gets close with the Bucky, and everything else falls into place for 100 Thieves. It is an interesting buy here. Steel has the Marshall.
3 players for long again. Very, very interesting.
Hey, man.
Well, they're pushing fast. Despite the fault line, they're moving and grooving. Now they're running back as well. Unfortunately, the slow orb gonna make things a little challenging. Out he goes. That's the clone gone. How do Envy react off this? They need to push a little bit faster, but now that there's a wall, Thieves can play off of this. Information says, hey, no one's on A. Let's prepare for B and C.
Victor just stomping his way out to flash out of A long. Caboose controlling in mid. Still have long control as well. And Nitro playing in a interesting spot. Hiko's gonna have to have a dart to feel that out. Still got the angle to help him out in garage. They're gonna split it through garage, through spawn. Still gets the tag on FNS, and Nitro's still here with the cage. This is very, very difficult for them to predict, and they won't.
Oh, close. It's a couple of tags. Crashies is down to 20, but Caboose, a little bit of an off angle here in the garage. They jump out, but Hiko jumps back. Oh, goodness. That's so unfortunate. Now, the heal. Asuna spamming the healer. Heal me, please heal me.
Oh, this is dangerous. You have no clue.
Right.
Ethan watches though. Timing is
wow.
good for his turn. Mame is gone. It's all left to Crashes. I don't know if they know that he was there too. I believe they should. Yeah, they know. 3-0. There you go. Well done from Steel and Nitro to delay that. And then, of course, the re-push. Hiko, you pointed it out. The jiggle peek strafe for Asuna to do his own. Peek down, and then the double peek. So no chance, no room for Caboose to really make anything happen. It could have been a 2K. Instead, he'll go for 0, and 100 Thieves will keep Envy at 0.
See, the problem with that round is it was so challenging for Envy to gain any control of A. They were almost forced to make the decision to go over to C and B. See, Victor tried to at least sell something. He flashed out for long. Yeah, we might be teasing or cheating A, but it never kind of ended up happening that way. It ended up going over to C, where we saw Nitro be able to hold things off. This round so far going quite well for 100 Thieves, as Envy are on the pistols. Crashies does make it to flat, but he's all on his lonesome as fish out of water does end up drowning to the oxygen around him. That's the 4th round here for 100 Thieves. We enter into the gun round for Envy.
It's Steel right here. Hit him with the flick down garage. That was Mame trying to tag him down with just a, I'm betting just a classic. And then he falls back into place to help Nitro, and Asuna once again on the flank. He's playing so aggressively down. Must be a lobby every time. And when we saw it in the previous round, you were talking about it. They got Ethan all the way up with the wall. We've seen a lobby aggression. But typically, it's just peeking down sewers, peeking down a lobby, getting up at the top of long.
Oh my god.
That is ridiculous.
Disgusting. And now B is not really an option unless you break that wall, unless you telegraph.
Oh my god. Come on, man.
Ethan, why do you gotta do him like that? He spent 2 bullets this round. The most cost-efficient frags I've ever seen.
I was saying, man, this guy is crispy in the last couple of series. He has just absolutely been a gem for 100 Thieves. This Sage pick for him seems to have unlocked him to new levels. Oh, the timing. I think Steel saw him. Yeah, he marked it. Nitro spots one down A long as well. Yeah, Ethan's watching. Steel saw him.
Enemy remaining.
And Spike is literally in A link right now. Poor Crashies. Did you see Ethan? He's just ducking.
Flawless.
Spamming garage and A link on top of the Spike. Oh, that's hilarious.
You know, part of the reason why I think Envy were so successful on Ascent was Victor's lurks up through middle. There's a couple of rounds where he just got so much space and so much value. And you see that it's possible that that's going to likely happen again. He pushed up through mid. But on a map like this is where Steel definitely likes to thrive in that environment as well. Constantly pushing, if you know the information says that it's a little bit of a heavier stack towards another side, and he sees Victor just at the last second. It's really going to be a battle of the lurks in some instances for this map.
Interesting thing about a Sage pick on Haven, and again, I said it's getting a little bit more popular and globally. But if you're not used to playing Sage against Sage and officials, things like this will happen with Wall and Ethan play very well. He's gonna get one. He gets ulted by himself. They can't even chase him down because Caboose gets ulted as well. Steel's in the back of sight. No, he's in C-Link. Austin is the one here, and he gets it. Victor, what you got? Okay, frenzy and a headshot, but no round.
Here.
Just to continue on that train of thought, like the only experience some of these teams might have playing against Sage is in ranked. And yeah, that wall and peek is very common from Ethan, but some of the other stuff that he's going to do and throw at you will definitely be something they haven't quite seen. I'm sure they played it against it in scrims, but the whole repertoire is very hard to discern when it's new.
And you see that he can fake that too. He put the wall up, but he wasn't on it. He's constantly conditioning them that when you see something, what could possibly happen? He was so far back towards that connector. And when they did funnel in, they're like, well, we can't find Ethan. He's not even on the site. Well, he put the wall up, but where is he? Put him in a position to at least avoid some of that potential damage that would have followed after the red carpet was rolled out from Victor. But alas, this round, gun round for Envy, and this time they're going to try their hand at A, which was the most successful hit out of all the hits they've had so far. A was the most successful. You got 3 members here. No Ethan, though. Ooh, that's unfortunate, but the answer back from Steel. He backs away, 71 HP. Now, Asuna waiting. Mame back towards B. He's going to be a little bit of, sorry, not Mame, Finesse. Finesse back over towards B. They've got the control. Oh, they're taking him apart one at a time. Finesse onto Steel, Mame onto Asuna. This is a round Envy can secure.
Here.
This is very cool, actually. The way that FNS actually ulted in the back of B. Puts the smoke down deep A link. Look how Ethan has to work through here. Nitro as well.
One enemy remaining.
It's a different way to make this split happen. Usually that ult is coming into heaven. Even when it doesn't go into heaven, Caboose is still there anyways. But no, that strat was very interesting. TP into Gong while you're actually hitting A. And how teams are playing passively on B, that could work quite often. Which now, when 100 Thieves realizes how that play worked out, they're like, okay, we have to have a potential member inside of B to be watching for that when the ult is available from FNS. Same thing that we saw on Pistol from 100 Thieves. They're going to slow and walk down middle. And it is 3 members here. They might go for a C split, which could get shut down.
Oh, no. That's so unfortunate. Mame still manages to make it deep. But he's alone, and this is going to be a little bit of a challenging feat. Just on the drive-by, puts it in 2, crashes with another pair. Asuna still manages to find some revenge down to the 3v2, and there's smokes galore on the C site. Finesse now playing close towards the garage, finds his mark onto Nitro, and it's a 2v2. The TP, Asuna just barely misses Finesse. He's down to 42. Asuna has full HP but no armor. Now they start to push in. Crashies out in the middle of nowhere. Now playing close towards the box itself. There is hot hands available. Now the swing forward. Crash is just trying to play for Finesse, and that's going to be the angle. It works out. Steel looking for the angle from Finesse himself, and a solid round from Envy.
Gorgeous stuff in the 2 versus 2 from FNS. They both play off that angle very, very, very well. Asuna with just absolutely ridiculous running duel. Yeah, Crashies and FNS played this fantastically. Crashies playing off of He's just shoulder peeking, getting the info that they're out, giving room for FNS to do the same for him, and then he peeks out as FNS all of a sudden takes contact onto Asuna.
Area. Shot down.
Steal. Oh, Steal the op once more. And he's going to repeat. Crashies is there. Steal going to slowly repeat, but looking over towards the C site, Mame has got an op of his own. And it does look like Nitro has been tagged, so there has already been a scuffle and engagement here. Another one will follow. Caboose going to send it right over to Nitro, find the second. Mame now going to hold that angle for spawn. Sees Ethan won't connect. As now he'll take a little bit of damage. Unfortunate that Ethan was already out on the swing, just down to Crashies as he rushes over to C. This does look like a round 100 Thieves can secure. It depends on Crashies has the bow and arrow out. He does get spotted. Shots good onto Asuna, but Ethan is there on the other side.
Yeah, very well done on that C side as things looked like they're going to fall apart as Caboose made the entry. Also got to give props to Steal off screen. FNS actually TP'd over Ethan's wall in B, and Steal was ready and waiting for him. Knowing that that was a possibility. That essentially cleans up the round. That was the only opportunity I think that Envy had after they lost the C site to get back into it. If that flank came, that would have been onto Ethan. And I believe Nitro too in the back of sight. So no, Nitro got taken out by the showstopper. So okay, cool thing there. Crashes with the shock dart as they start to split over towards A. Insta shock dart up at the top of B deletes that trap wire from Steal, so they don't have any presence there now.
Challenging for Nitro. He still manages to find Mame somehow as an engagement towards the courtyard. Victor just trying to hold them off as they push in. Now it's going to be the 3v3 retake with two injured members from Envy. Caboose and Victor. Crashies has the angle, but he's now in a little bit of a tougher spot. He can't quite escape this place. Does get flashed away by Victor himself, just trying to give him a little bit of space, but the red carpet's rolled out just for them, but Ethan was not affected by it. Now the hunt is sure. Hiko just trying to find those frags as well. He'll find one. Caboose gonna hunt him down. Oh my God, Hiko! He answers back and finds the frag.
I was wondering when that Hunter Spear was going to come in. I thought it was just not going to come no matter what. As they were fighting for so long, ults exchanged, and Hiko will save Asuna's life, even though he saves his own too with that beautiful ranged one tap. Wow, breach ulted. Let's look at that again. Onto Crashies it was. Oh no, it was Victor, and then yeah, Hiko takes him out and still is able to get the last shot off right before Caboose is there in time. 8-2, and hey, we've had so many 9-3 halves at this point in the series, and we're going to go for it again. The difficult part is going to be how are they going to play with no Sentinel on this Haven side. I mean, FaZe has done it, so why can't Envy? It's not quite in this type of composition.
With the knives, I like this. Updraft right into the smoke. Site's clear. To be quite fair, 100 Thieves were playing retake for the site based on how the positioning was. Wall towards mid. Nitro pushed up. The fact that they are going to be able to push in on all fronts is a little bit dangerous for Envy. They've got to pay attention to the flank. That's Finesse's job. Now, Suna pushing into the connector side. Shot's good onto one. He's going to get rid of that immediately, but gets a knife right into his back. Now Finesse a little bit closer to his team. Nitro still on the flank. They're making this very problematic for Envy. 4v4, there's the trade. Now the swing out for Mame, but still, there's a player down long. It's Nitro, Omen v Omen, as the spike ticks. Time is of the essence, and there's no time. As Finesse, all he has to do is wait. And patience is a virtue, finds the frag. One more round remaining in the half.
Last round.
I like it. I mean, we saw a couple rounds ago that there was possibilities for them to kind of walk up C long and take the fight. The players who are playing in there. It's switching up every round, so it's hard to tell when that's going to happen, but it felt like the site was empty for them, playing a little bit more towards A and towards B, which happens. The kinds of setups that you have to play on Haven with the 3-site nature of it. And we'll see Envy do that on their defense. So, press 1 if you think it's going to go 9-3 again, 2 if you think that Envy will get their 4th. Quickly on A, Mame's here. Takes it all down. Nitro's gonna ult to catch up. The cage is there to block him. I don't think they realize, oh no, Nitro could go huge here.
Definitely be a factor. Finesse already pushing up through connector. Nitro's down. That's into the last player standing. Just find one onto Crashies.
Look at FNS. Where you going, buddy?
Nice shot. 8-4. You press 2. You're correct. While you cast or cursed
Switching
it.
sides.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We get a closer game, and we know how strong Envy's defense is here, man. Don't underestimate it. Sentinel or not, food on Phoenix or not, some of the stuff they do on this half is unbelievable. Recall the Challengers 2 finals against Sentinels.
V10.
Absolutely took it to them.
One enemy remaining.
And they did the same thing against XSET the other day. Slow start on the attacking side, but when it came to defense, they rolled. I think they didn't even drop a round against XSET. So when you think about how good of a team XSET is on this map, that speaks volumes.
Oh, man, you're in trouble. Trouble? Whoa! How does he still get that? Still manages to find Caboose behind him somehow.
Spike
Finesse
down mid.
with the quick trade down to the 2v3 as Victor just trying to get back to the action as quick as possible. He's going to jump out. Are they anticipating him? He's got a lot of places to look. It's Crashies with the shock darts trying to participate from afar. Will be the last man standing. Crashies gonna try to go through connector, move quick and fast. There's gonna be the swing, finds one, but Nitro's ready for it, backs away. All he needs to do is buy time. There's gonna be the recon bolt. Hiko takes care of it. Still, Crashies already moving up. Hiko ducks to cover. Nitro playing close in the smoke, waiting for him to pop through. Now the 1v1, Crashies in a little bit of a better situation. There's the recon bolt. Tag does come through. He's coming. He's coming for you, Hiko. Right now, anticipate the range, anticipate the swing. That's going to be the 9-4 pistol win here for 100 Thieves.
That's a big old NT from Crashies. He almost had it, but I think he started double guessing himself as he ran down long to fight against Hiko. The time was not going to be on his side, and Hiko knew it. Pistol doesn't go in Envy's way, and 100 Thieves inches their way ever closer to grand finals. And there is no fourth map. This will be at last half, potentially, of the series. Crossfire from my man Caboose on the eco round, and Ethan's getting close. No, he'll back out at Cubby.
This second round Phantom for Asuna is really consistent with 100 Thieves pistol win. Plays a big factor in how they can continue to convert moving into the third. How many times have they won the third round off of winning a pistol in this series? It's been almost every single time.
Jets grounded.
Definitely a good stat to look up. Their conversion, their bonus round conversions because of Asuna buying a Phantom, but it's not just the Phantom too. It's always a Bulldog as well in the mix. And they're always able to carry those through. They kind of bait the Spectres and make it work. I think the few teams who are doing that. Was he stuck with the...
Yep. Caught in the spider's web. That was funny.
No, I would love to see that stat. Compare it to other teams and their conversion rounds, or their bonus rounds conversion rates. It'd be interesting. 18-9 for him too. He's just been playing ridiculous today. Okay, gun rounds. Envy, what you got? Starting to become do or die for them. My man, top of the box, trying to look over the smoke. No, there's deeper smoke for them, so he's fine with that. Even did walk through last round, so.
Steel running in with the Sheriff. Doesn't catch Finesse, but does Victor anticipate him playing so close? He can't quite see a thing, but he just buys time for the swing. Masina now, he's got the running back, gonna go back. Sight Finesse does deal with it, but they know that there's a player towards Gong. Caboose providing the cover fire as Finesse gets out from the Gong. But look at Nitro, oh my goodness gracious, he's so deep in the connector. Are they going to anticipate him playing this deep? Asuna finds another one, but he can just wait for them to rotate to C. Oh, goodness. Now Finesse is in a lot of trouble. He's going to get smoked off. Does see the shoulder on the run and gun just for fun as Nitro finds another. Here comes Crashy, though. We've seen this scenario before, a 1v2. But this time it's Steel and Asuna in the 1v2. Steel playing towards long. He's going to back up all the way. But guess who's coming in from behind him? The hunt is on. That's going to be the third round conversion once more for 100 Thieves.
Envy gonna have to eco too. Maybe they'll force to not play for OT, but a hard decision. A very difficult decision. What are they doing? It's not a full gamble. Okay, Caboose just does have a Guardian, a couple of only just Frenzy and Sheriff on the other two. Everybody else just has classics. And almost working out. I like the idea. Guardian up top, one player down below. First player takes contact and the Guardian does the rest of the work, but it does not work. Maybe it does. Ethan gets the res though. Victor at range too. He does pick up the Guardian, so they actually have quite a number of guns, especially with FNS. Getting the Phantom, and Finesse is pushing up. Never mind. He has to get out of there. Can he TP out, or is he going to play for it?
The whole team's here. There's one spotted out. Victor finds one. This could be a huge thrifty for Envy. 100 Thieves now barreling down towards the A site. Spike last in the conga line as the player has already managed to make his way here. It's Finesse playing close, and he'll be dealt with. Another angle for Mame. He's got the good clean shot, but he has the Phantom. Now the wall up. He still has the updraft over. He can make this an aggressive Smeagol moment. Decides to go up towards Heaven.
Nice.
Try to rain from above. Like you said, there are the knives, but unfortunately, Ethan ready down below. Not quite sure if the timing of that flash didn't quite work out or what ended up happening, but now it's all down to Victor. Slow orb the wall, just incessant utility, not letting him in. They're out graffiti first. There's the swing. Nobody jumps out from it. Ethan sees the barrel of the gun. Eco there and communicates. I'm going to go for the swing. I'm also going to find the frag. Match point.
Match point.
It's very close from working out for Victor there. Showing the barrel, like you said. Actually baits Eco to peek out in a 1v1. If he wins that fight, he can all of a sudden play into that. But okay, so a light buy doesn't work out, and unfortunately for Envy, we are on match point, series point. Opportunity now for 100 Thieves to go to the grand finals, and plenty of opportunities for them to do just that. Has to be 8 rounds in a row for Envy. Mame starts it off well. A peek down short and Steel is gone. Asuna though, run it back, available through Cubby, and it's full C-long push.
Uh-oh, Paranoia. Finesse does manage to get to safety, and unfortunately the run it back. Will it find any more value? Yes, it will. Victor does fall. Now it's an even battle. The 4v4 Nitro backside. We've seen this position many a time, and it's planted for long. But this wall for Ethan is going to be a little bit problematic for the defense to try to come back through. Asuna can use it as a little bit of a peek, a little bit of a positioning utility piece. Hunter's Fury here for Hiko. Almost finds Mame. I think a tag did end up going through, but still, Spike's ticking. Not a lot of time is remaining, and Envy are unmoved. Nitro finds one onto Mame. There's the trade for Caboose. Here comes the push here. Now the frags come in for the defense. Still 2 players remain down to FNS with 11 HP as Asuna wraps around. Still, now the 1v1 Eco. Right through the smoke, shots come through. The Spike is sticky. He's got to run over. He's got to defuse it. He's got to find the time. But that is the one thing Envy lacked. Congratulations to 100 Thieves for moving on to the grand finals.
GG, a very fun series to watch the entire time. Envy will fall to the loser final. Face the winner of XSET versus version 1. They've already beaten both of them, so we'll have to see if they're going to do it again. But 100 Thieves for the second time in a Challengers series, they end up going into the finals. This time, no phase, so potentially they might end up beating them out, or beating whoever comes out of it again. This is their chance to do just that and take the first seed.
Yeah, it almost feels like this weird rock, paper, scissors is now kind of for us. You know, Envy has beaten XSET in version 1, but 100 Thieves just beat Envy. So now, does that mean 100 Thieves is like the undisputed winner. I don't know. We'll have to see in the grand finals tomorrow. But this map, you know, you said that Envy had a very solid defensive half, but really, what do you feel, you know, didn't quite go their way? Because 100 Thieves had to, you know, put together a strong force on the attack, and they did just that. Didn't really give Envy the space or room to play the defensive half they wanted.
Yeah, it was just
Player standing.
full tempo. I mean, this last round in specific was like, yeah, they got something done with the op from Mummy's Jets, and they said, okay, you'll take one. We're just gonna full send up C long. So yeah, it was tempo. It was also the fact that Envy was down by such a deficit, which is not something that we're used to seeing from Envy, and it happened over and over and over again. And it's also a comp that they're not, well, I don't know how much experience they've played with that, but clearly this was the first time I've seen it from them in officials. So yeah, the series on the day was basically experimentation from Envy, I think, and 100 Thieves was playing with the same old fire that they always do, and Asuna and Ethan are looking very good. They're looking like they're gelling, and there's no doubt in their mind on what things they want to do. 416 combat score from Asuna, by the way.
It does feel like once we move on to the regional finals, containing all the 8 teams that qualify, it's going to be so interesting to see this clash of styles, because 100 Thieves refuse to play Jet, refuse to incorporate a double duelist. In fact, they are hard set on double Sentinel, and that is insane because of how it has worked out for them and the utilization here for Ethan. It has been an absolute treat to see. We do have a side-by-side player comparison, and while we did originally start with Nitro and Mame, it really did feel like it was Asuna versus Victor. The first two maps in particular, these two went head-to-head, round after round.
Yeah, and I mean, over the entire series, they definitely looked comparable. I think it was Asuna's massive pop-off in both Bind and on Ascent that they ended up losing. Victor played out of his mind, though, on many different maps, and with the Sky, it was a lot of fun to watch. Very aggressive, very in-your-face, and he did it with an average death of only 13.5, so definitely credit to him. And I can't wait to see more of that, and potentially even that actual duel that we were expecting, which was Phoenix versus Phoenix. I still enjoyed the Sky, though.
Yeah, and it honestly felt like they were always fighting for the same control, too. It was Showers on Bind, then it was A main on Ascent, sometimes B main, but one of the things you have to give a lot of credit for is how they just brought in a new composition. Despite losing, they brought back Ascent, they made it competitive, and they showed us a good series.
Yeah, we got full 3 maps. It didn't feel like we were going to get it at the beginning of Ascent, so in either case, let's take a look at the rest of the matches today, the bracket, and how it stands right now. We're going to XSET versus version 1 next, down in the lower brackets. A different peak if you've been following different teams throughout the weekend. Now that we're on one stream, we get XSET versus version 1. Definitely want to hear expectations from you, Simo, on this match.
Yeah, 2 teams kind of coming with a blaze. XSET, though, has been coming with a little bit of a hotter fire, considering their consistent performances. First qualifying as a top 4 seed, moving into Masters. Didn't quite have the performance that I think they would have loved to have, but a lot of time in the hyperbolic time chamber has, you know, prepared them for Cell. I don't quite think version 1 is Cell, the one that they need to beat, but it's still an opponent that they have to get through to prove that they are, you know, hypothetically within the contention for top 4.
And the journey for version 1 has been a very difficult one. I mean, they started with Envy, and they played them 2-1. XSET also falling to Envy 2-0. So maybe that tells you something a little bit about it, but maybe version 1 also just matches up better with Envy. The different styles for XSET versus version 1 will be in display here. I definitely want to continue to kind of point out what you started to mention. Consistent performances for XSET throughout all of Challengers. They might be the most consistent team. They made it top 4 in almost every single one they participated in compared to some of the other guys. So huge props to them. What they want, though, is a tournament win. They haven't quite done that since I believe it was the January Nerd Street Gamers Monthly. So sometime since then. I know we did, Thwifo, and all the guys at XSET are hungry.
Yeah, they definitely are. Well, don't worry. We'll feed you guys quite soon enough. The matchup that you have been waiting for, XSET versus version 1, is just around the bend. You'll be joined by Tanner Metro and Dust to close out the rest of the day. For that, though, we need to throw to a quick little break, and when we come back, the match you've been waiting for right after this.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
It's so much more than just a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans, like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, as well as Discovery Plus, with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best. Only from Verizon.
I feel like I need to defend my scene's honor here, because this is just turning into a bit of a dog battle.
Like in groups always look.
I'm cutting you off here. I'm cutting you off. Cutting you off. He said G2's winning it. He said G2's winning it.
We need to wait till the next EU tournament, which could be in about 10 years now.
Take it with like a grain of salt.
No,
but
that's
that
no
being
fun.
said,
Take it super literally.
Spike defused.